Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for What is a Woman? It's a documentary that originally came out a year ago on Daily Wire Plus, but then time passed and they decided to put it out on Twitter, and they originally, in the tweet it says, only up for 24 hours, but I guess they got enough views that they have decided to leave it up, because as of right now it's up and it has about 180 million views. So I figured I'd talk about it. It stars Matt Walsh in this documentary, and as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, there's a Therian in this who discusses a little bit of the Therianisms, but I don't see any other fursuits, and I don't see any other, furriness that's notable. So, moving on to the good and the bad. I don't know if you ever saw either reruns or back in the day, Jay Leno, back when he hosted The Tonight Show. So when he hosted The Tonight Show, there was a recurring segment on there called Jaywalking. And basically, he would go out on the street, and the segment was always cut to show you him asking very common sense type questions to people and just laughing at the hilarious way that they got it wrong. And I never really cared for those segments because, if you go to a downtown crowded area and you ask 100 people, 99 of them might get whatever question you're asking them in some way right or very right, clear, concise answers, whatever, but he's going to put the one person on there that, is just the dumbest person imaginable to bring out there. I'm not saying that the people that Matt Walsh interviewed were the dumbest people imaginable, but what I am saying is that how this documentary was cut, and, it's a documentary, so as documentaries, they do have a direction that they want you to interpret, but how this one was cut, it kind of felt like he was picking and choosing the people that would be unable to answer his question of, what is a woman? And so I think that there was probably other people that he interviewed that got cut because they were able to provide clear, concise counter arguments to his, but, we're not going to see that. So in this, as you might guess from the name, he asks, what is a woman, to various college professors and doctors that do transitions for people. And he does it in a very, I don't want to say very, but pretty creative way, where he maintains a very calm demeanor, very slow with the questions, just very deliberate with them. And he does the methodology of just continuing to ask them questions to allow them the opportunity to expand on their viewpoint. Now, regardless of what you feel or think or have opinions about what a woman is, what transgenderism is, how it should be, how it could be, how it can't be, how it won't be, how it is, how it will be, whatever, regardless of your view on that, I think that you should watch this movie, because in this movie, he presents an argument by letting the other side present their viewpoint. And I don't think he cut it too much. I think he might have cut out whole interviews where they were able to adequately answer things. But as far as I can tell, there wasn't any contextually important cuts to the individuals that were shown in the interviews. And why I bring this up is because I think that regardless of what side of whatever argument you're on about adult or child transitions and anything like that, I think it's important for you to watch this, because the people that are very much against transgenderism, especially for children, I think that they are going to view this movie and they are going to use arguments that are based off of the arguments presented in this movie to express their viewpoints and to challenge people who do support transgenderism. So this movie is a great opportunity to see how the side that does not support the LGBT part of the LGBTQ, etc., how that side views the T part of the community. So it's important for you to see what that is so that you can be one of the 99 people that will have a coherent counter argument. Because if you don't see what your opponent is fighting with, then you won't be able to counter that when they try and use it against you. Because I'm sure there's going to be people that use this movie and the way that the questions were phrased and the way that the arguments, I'm saying, but questions and how the conversation flowed to try to get other people to, I don't want to say fall into the same traps, but to have the same outcomes, and I think that it's important for everyone to see, because if you support this, if you support this movie and their views on transgenderism, well then guess what? You have a whole bunch of more ammunition to form your arguments and to form your questions when debating with people, because this is presented in a fairly in a fairly like displayed way. Like I said, cuts out some probably useful ones, but it does present you some arguments. And that's why I think that it's important for both sides to watch this, because you can see what both sides are looking at. And if you really support transgenderism and you're looking at this and you're just like, oh, they make us look so terrible. Like, how do they choose these people? Well, guess what? That is another thing to consider, is that is what the people on the other side are seeing it as. And so if you understand just how they are viewing it, then you might be able to form an argument, or a conversation might be more productive if you understand their viewpoint when trying to convince them of the other thing. And same thing with the other side, just back and forth. So that's why I think it's important to watch. And, you know, it's free right now. I don't know when they're going to stop making it free, but it is currently free. So, you know, you can watch it, and Twitter now has the feature where you can speed it up, so you can watch it at 2 times speed. So it only is an hour-ish out of your day. But I think that it will help for either side to make their arguments more coherent. So that's really all I have for this one. Matt Walsh is kind of smarmy, as always. So that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one. Bye.